Welcome back to the Mow It Wells Show. I am your host, Alex Wells, aka Mow It Wells, aka Big Mo, aka Mow Lawns, Mow Money. Yeah. All right, so I'm starting a new little series, excuse me, where at the end of every month I do a recap of the month in my business, let you guys know, what all happened, landscape projects, if we fired anybody, if we lost any customers, if we gained any customers, if we made money, if we didn't make money. Won't go over specific numbers when it comes to the money portion, but I'll give you an idea of how we did in this first episode of this little series or whatnot is going to be for the month of May, because today is obviously May 31st and I just got done finalizing all the invoicing for the month, got those all sent out and charged all the cards on file, and we had a pretty good month for sure. We did, number wise, we did a little more than what we did last month, so that's always a plus. We picked up, I believe, 3 or 4. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think we picked up 3. I know we picked up at least 3, but it might have been 4. But I might be thinking of the one that we picked up in late April. But I think we picked up 3 or 4 new residential clients that signed the 12-month agreement. So we got them all on the contract. We did, however, lose one client. They are, we actually lost 2 clients. One client, which I already knew we were going to lose because they were selling their house and they close on June 16th. So technically we haven't lost them yet, but we will only be billing them for half the month. And they let me know this in January that they were going to be selling the house. So how I did their contract was different from everybody else's. I basically did kind of like a la carte, but still made it where they're paying the same month. It was a little confusing, but it worked out for the both of us. So we lost them, and we lost another one due to some mishap with the irrigation with our subcontractor and getting their irrigation turned on and getting some repairs made. It was miscommunication on my part. It wasn't nothing my guys did. It was just miscommunication between me, the customer, and our subcontractor, because we ended up, our original subcontractor ended up going out of business. So we weren't able to use them, and he didn't tell me until like the middle of April. So I'm scrambling trying to find somebody to turn these irrigation systems on, thinking he was going to start turning them on in May. And it just became a whole mess because, as you know, once you start turning the systems on, every company's booked out. So we ended up having to hire this new company as our subcontractor, and they weren't able to get to some of them. They did this week, but they weren't able to get to them until like the end of May, in the middle of May, and it was just some confusion between myself, the client, and the subcontractor. So I take full responsibility. Fairly decent client, always paid on time, but it was one of those clients that always has something like, excuse me, is emailing something once a month or is calling just about little things, nothing that we did wrong, but more so of, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And and he wasn't a PETA, but he wasn't, he was particular about his yard. I can't even be mad at it. It didn't even bother me. It was slightly annoying. So if we were going to lose one, that would be the type we would lose. And it was in a neighborhood, like a kind of a new developed neighborhood. So there wasn't that many houses in the whole neighborhood. There was probably 15 to 25 maybe. And we only had that one. It was like kind of like one of those one street in with like a circle cul-de-sac or whatever. So there wasn't, it wasn't like we had a lot of route density in that particular, on that street. So, it sucks. Obviously, I apologize to him. We hashed it out. No hard feelings at all. It was just a professional move. So, it is what it is. So we picked up the 3 or 4 and lost the one. Plus, we'll be losing the one next month, which I already knew about. But also, the one that is moving, he gave the information to the new homeowner because they live on like this really, really steep hill. And you're, as a homeowner, unless you're a younger guy or whatever, you're not going to want to push mow this thing. Like it's steep. Like our walk behind, like it's a beast for just the walk behind. So as just a regular homeowner, you're not going to want to push mow this thing. And then it's got massive shrubs like on the side where it's on a hill, so it requires the ladder, all that mess. So I'm thinking they're going to probably re-sign with us, which would be great. So that was how our May went with customers. Um, We now have all the irrigation systems cut on, ready to roll. Got the heads adjusted, the times adjusted at our commercial properties and at our residential properties. So super excited about that. Glad that's over with. This new subcontractor we're working with is phenomenal. Their communication skills are amazing. They send out an email to let you know when they're going to turn it on. And what they did was I still middlemaned it, but I gave them the contact info for the residents and the commercial clients saying, hey, here's their contact info. You can let them know when you're coming if you want to, whatever. Here's their email, phone number. Because two of them, their box was in the garage. So they had to be able to contact them to let them know, hey, we're going to be here on this day. Will you be home so we can get in there and adjust the box? So they've been great. They do charge a little more than what we were paying, but that's fine. It had to get done. So now I know, going forward, I'm gonna have to raise the prices built into the contract to um, recover those funds because they were charging more than what we were charging. But it is what it is. They were the only one that answered the phone or gave me or like called me back off my website inquiry. So I'm super happy with them thus far. Let's see what else. We did a few mulch jobs, I believe. I think we knocked out just 3 or 4. We did a lot in April and March. We try to get those done, and really, realistically, I would really love to get them done in February and March before it like starts heating up and the grass starts growing and the days are longer for the mowing crews and stuff like that. So we got a lot done in February, March, and in April, and then we had a few late people inquire about mulch. So we knocked those out. Nothing, there wasn't any really, really big jobs. I think we had one that was 17 yards. That's fairly decent. And then she ended up getting we trimmed every shrub on her property, her brush line, and we did her mulch. So that was actually a really profitable job with the man hours compared to, the budgeted hours. And then we did 30 bags for another client. We just sent 2 guys over there and they also trimmed while they were there. So that one, not too crazy. It was easy. And then we did another one that was 13 or 14 yards. We also trimmed all her shrubs because we obviously, if we're going to do mulch in May, we're going to trim all the shrubs first, then put the mulch down. That way, we're not putting the mulch down, then trimming in a few weeks because it's going to get, the clippings. You're not always able to get all the clippings out. So doing it prior on these couple properties worked out perfectly because they won't get their next trimming until late summer and then one more in the fall. Ooh, should have made some more notes for this episode. This is going to be just a short and sweet recap. Also, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's just Mow It Well Show, and you can watch the podcast as well, the video podcast, and let me know in the comments or let me know on Instagram, how your guys' May went. Was it profitable? Did you hire fire? How'd it go? We got a ton of rain, but this year we've moved to a 4-day mowing schedule, and then our 5th day is for makeup days or landscaping projects or shrub trimming, brush clip trimming, anything like that, just special projects, mulch. So it really benefited us. I think we worked one Saturday in the month of May with the amount of rain we got, which is fantastic. We did lose a guy. He put in like a month notice, which was great because he was here for over a year and he was moving to Washington State. So he let me know a month in advance, like, hey, I'm gonna be moving. Just wanted to give you a heads up so you can bring another guy in. We did end up hiring another guy. He actually started the week the guy was leaving. Hold on one second. Spam, of course. So he ended up starting the week the guy the new guy started the last week of the other guy's job, if that even made sense. So he was able to kind of train him up, because this was kind of he was our like a hybrid crew leader guy. He would run a crew, or he'd be the second guy on a crew, and he knew how to do everything. So he was like a real important part to the business. But the guy that we brought in used to work for me like 4 or 5 years ago when we were super small, and he ended up having to move back to Nashville. He was with us for about a month, and he was really, really good. Like, he would have been my GM had he have stayed, had he have been able to stay. But, with something with his family, he ended up moving back to Nashville, and he just recently moved back this year. So he was gone a couple years, but moved back, reached out, and I said, man, perfect timing. We're looking for somebody. When can you start? Worked out perfectly. So we got him back in the flow of things. He's going to be a great asset to the team. Especially if we're going to try to start expanding more into landscape projects, which we've been doing more, but I like this guy's his expertise is landscaping. So I'm going to try to utilize that as much as possible and really push more landscaping jobs, and then eventually get another crew started for mowing as we gain some more properties. We probably sent out maybe 20 estimates this month. Still waiting to hear back on a couple of them. Our closing ratio is low, and I honestly think because we're pricing stuff a little higher, just because our schedule's pretty perfect. But also, I know with the inflation and everything, some people are just like, man, this is too much. And then the guys that end up getting it, they might not be making the money they're supposed to be making, because I truly know my numbers, like on last episode with Cycle CPA and all that. So I'm pretty spot on with my estimating for mowing and all our contracts and stuff like that. Let's see. I did another estimate today for a massive commercial property in our kind of industrial side of town. Wide open mowing, some mulch beds, no trimming, hardly any leaves. I mean, the property that you just want to have, easy stuff, big areas to mow. That estimate ended up being right around $550 per month for the whole year. So that would be a really good one to get. He emailed me. I got the inquiry in my email at I think like 9:49, and I had an estimate to him by 11. It was crazy because where their warehouse is literally 6.5 minutes from where my shop is, and I was already out that way doing something else. So boom, pulled in there. Took me 15 minutes. I didn't even stay there 15 minutes, probably 10 minutes to walk the property, just because it was so wide open. It was really easy to do the estimate, and then came back, put all the information in on Copilot, boom, sent it to him, and then sent him an email, say, hey, you should have the estimate in your email box, in your inbox. Please let me know if you have any questions. We look forward to working with you. So hopefully we get that one, because I know for a fact we're the first one to send that estimate over, and the grass was like knee high at this very well-known company. Like, it's worldwide. They're all over the place. So knee high at this place, I know they got money, so I don't know what happened with their with what they're doing with their landscaping contract, but I'm excited about that. I hope we get it. But May was smooth, man. Didn't really no employee issues. We got some guys taking vacation in June that they wrote it on the board. We've known about it, so we're planning for that. We got some more shrub trim we're going to be doing in June. Other than that, man, we got all our mowers are finally running. We had some mishaps early on in the season, so the mowers had to go into the shop. But we're rolling, man. We're rolling. Super excited about June, July, and the rest of summer, and then tapering down into September. August, September, and October for Equip Expo. And that brings me to my next point. If you guys are going to Equip, which I hope you are, please use code MAC50 for 50% off your ticket. And today is actually the last day to get like the early bird thing or whatever. I think it's like $12 or something like that. I hit Mac and I was like, hey man, what's your code? I'm about to order my ticket, and then I'm about to promote your ticket on my podcast, because that's what friends are for. So shout out to my guy Mac on the Attack with Mac. Getting him on the show soon. real soon, because me and him, man, I promise you, every time we talk on the phone, we talk for like hours. And I'm like, bro, we should just record these conversations and make it a podcast because they're so good. They're so freaking good. And it's not just lawn and landscape business, it's life, it's, finances, investments, just high level stuff, man, that you all should have a friend like that you could talk to about stuff like that. And that one person that you can talk to, and you get on the phone with them, you be on the phone for 3 or 4 hours and don't even know it. My wife says he's my boyfriend, but he's not though. But if I were to have a, no, I'm just playing. But anyway, man, thank you guys for checking out this episode. Hit that, what is it now? A follow button? I don't know. Follow the show. Subscribe on Instagram. Do all those things. It's Big Mo. I'm everywhere. You could just search Mo at Wells. I'm there. And I will see you guys at Equip this year. I can't wait. And I've got something super, super special that I'm bringing to Equip. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be a whole little event thing. More information on that coming soon. Got to leave you guys with a teaser. Man, go out there, get those lawns, because you know what it is. Mo lawns, mo money.